guys, Asher Ray Shadow Legends, welcome to the video. Send us some love, some positive vibes your way, especially if you need it out there today. Today's gonna be a fun one, guys. I am gonna share with you the definitive, no questions about it, most underrated legendaries in the game.
Never going to happen.
Obviously, I kid. This is incredibly subjective, and these are just 4 legendary champions that I think are so much better than they're giving credit for. Truthfully, these 4 champions, at least in my little circles, I don't really hear anybody talking about them, and there could probably be 20 others on this list, probably 50 others. So I really want to hear from you guys as well, as always in the comments. Who is your most underrated legendary? What's a legendary champion out there that just deserves more love? I will absolutely take some of your comments and make a future video around your recommendations. So without further ado, I'm going to give you my 4, and then I'm going to show you how I have them built and where I use them. Just a little test run on some of these champions. So number 1 is going to be King Gallcobar. So King Gallcobar is a poison, is not really meta right now, except for Dragon's Lair, maybe some other areas progression here and there. But this guy is just an elite S tier poisoner, cleanser, debuffer, everything. He's fast. He's got amazing base stats. He's got a cool little passive here. Whenever an enemy under a poison debuff attacks an ally under a shield, instantly activates a poison on that enemy. Also activates a continuous heal on the attacked ally. This dude is one of the best healers. It's conditional, but in the game. And you know who, if you have him, excuse me, you know who what? If you have him, you know what I'm talking about, is what I meant to say. He's got a shield in the ally lowest HP on his A1. On his A2, check this out. He's got an AoE. He's removing all buffs from all enemies on a 3-turn cooldown. He's placing a poison for 2 turns for every buff removed from them. Also has a 100% chance to place a block buffs on all enemies for 1 turn. So already you can use him in progression Hydra as well. He's not an elite endgame Hydra, but I mean, that's a great ability. Now on the A3 though, he has kind of the inverse, the opposite of the A2. He's cleansing, he's removing all buffs on the A2. He's cleansing everything off on the A3. And then he's got a continuous heal for every debuff removed from them. We're gonna pair this with like a seer against the dragon, and it's gonna be insane because we're cleansing all the poisons off. There's gonna be like 800 continuous heals on everybody, literally 800.
What a time to be alive.
Then a shield on all allies on the same ability on a 3-turn cooldown. So he's got a really nice shield, 25% of his max HP, easy to scale. He's got heals for days. He's got a cleanse. He's got buff removal. He's got poisons. He's got block buffs, and he has instant activation of both poisons and continuous heals. Are you kidding me? This guy is a monster. I'm going to show you Gallcobar in action. Really quickly, I'm going to show you the build. I love this build on King Gallcobar. It's hard to pull off, obviously, but if you can, and if you like this guy, a protection set, 9-piece. Allies deal 5% more damage for each buff placed by the wearer. So that means if he's laying down, 5 or 6 continuous heals on everybody, we're gonna be getting a ginormous damage boost, like 20, 30%, just depending, right? He is made for a 9-piece protection set. Very, very fun on him. I built him with a little bit of HP and, well, that's about it. Accuracy, obviously, to pull off all those poisons. So let's go ahead and run him in some dragon. This is not my main team, but it's obviously like, it's kind of a hybrid. It's a Seer activation with a Theodore activation team, right? So a little bit of a blend. And I've actually noticed a lot of you guys, viewers and players that I talk to, using a strategy like this. Again, you don't need all these specific champions, but you might not have the poisoners to activate an Eleanor or a Xavier team alone. You might have to combine them with a Seer team as well and kind of combine that damage, kind of a hybrid poison combust plus the Seer, right? And you guys saw it there. Now check out Gallcobar there. He already helped out with the poisons on the waves. I have him opening up with his A1 ability on the dragon, so he can come in here right now and get rid of all those poisons, and look at all those continuous heals, those protected continuous heals. That's just gonna pump up the karma burn from Seer, getting more damage, or at the very least, keep the team insanely healed, right?
Make them completely well when they touch this. In the name of Jesus, yea. Praise the Lord.
getting all those poisons away and then putting on the, in their place, putting the continuous heals. There he goes again. Oh man, activating that karma burn. Here we go. And the dragon's down. Man, what a fun team to watch, right? King Gallcobar is a really fun champion. Again, Hydra, you can use him in other areas as well. Let's go ahead and move on to champion number 2, guys. Now, this dude, I kind of just got my hands on. I pulled him maybe a couple months ago. It took me a while to build him. I was kind of underwhelmed by him, but I really like this guy a lot. It's Krok'mar the Devourer. He's number 2 on the list, guys. This guy's nasty. He's got an AoE on the A1 if the first attack is critical. He's HP based. He's super tanky, tough to kill. He's got another AoE on the A2 with a shield on this champion, whatever. Heals this champion, whatever. Very selfish, but still. On his A3, it's an extra turn ability. He has increased crit rate, increased crit damage for 3 turns on a 4-turn cooldown. Then he grants the extra turn, so the uptime on these buffs ends up being 3 turns. Like, it's always going to be up on your allies. It's hard to plan around an increased crit rate buff in this game. But if you have it up basically all the time, provided it doesn't get removed, well, it's easy to plan a team around 70% crit rate around a Krok'mar. I love it. It's not the most broken ability in the game, but the fact that it grants the extra turn is just a bonus. Increased crit damage on everybody at the very least. Then whenever this champion attacks, decrease the target's attack or defense by 5%, as well as their accuracy or resist by 5%, depending on which stat is the highest. Really cool, voracious hunger from the Gator. I like this Gator, man. He's really cool. You put him in I don't have him in this build, but you really want to put him in a curse set and use him in Hydra. Again, just like we said on Gallcobar and Hydra, you don't see him in endgame teams. I'm not here to tell you anything, along those lines, but man, he can be a really viable option for a lot of he'll be like great damage and a hex supplier with the 2 AoEs. I have him in a stun set though, and I have him with Fearsome Presence because I've been using the hell out of this Gator in Cintrano's content. So let's go ahead and go to the Cursed City here, and let me show you an example of an area where I just used him. All right, guys, Cintrano Soul Cross S19. Look at this team. I love this team. I really love all of these champions on this squad, guys.
Hey!
I'm not sure if I'm going to show you the entire run because it's RNG, right? But really, I could have probably included a lot of champions on this list. Everybody knows that Grand Warden is going to be amazing. Grand Oak, excuse me. Grand Warden, I'm talking like Clash of Clans right here. But I really like Great Hoof after her buff. Really solid. And then we have Nekmo Thar, who everybody knows is a beast. It's a stupid Marichka double Taurus team. It's like the most difficult, one of the most difficult, I think, out of all these not secret rooms, out of all the Cintrano's areas that you have access to legendary champions, I think this is probably the most challenging. Then the epics after that. But we're going to use Krok'mar's A3, get everybody nice and buffed up there, and then go in with the A2. Check this out. He's going to get the counterattacks from Taurus. And this dude's so freaking tanky, man. He barely gets hurt, man. It's insane. It's really cool. Okay, so we're landing some stuns down. I love how tanky this dude is. He's just like one of those, I don't know if you guys feel the same way that I do. And look, he just took down Marichka. Way to go, right? I can probably put on auto. This is insane because it's a lot harder than it looks. But man, this team of lizards is just dominating here.
Watch this! Oh, not that.
Okay, what was I saying about this guy? Well, I guess his kit is pretty simple, but he's just like, he's a lot, okay, it's just tanky. I was talking about tankiness. Am I the only one? Maybe it's just total placebo here. But some champions in this damn game, they just feel so tanky, you know? I kind of feel like Pythion's another one of those champions for me. He's just like, tough to take down for some reason, you know? Maybe I'm just using too many Magic Affinity champions against him, and he has that passive and stuff, but Krok'mar's kind of the same. He's just like a super uber tank, man. He's a big body and he's tough to kill, and he does a lot of damage too, which is so cool. I might as well just run this entire thing. Let me come to you guys at the end of the third wave here, because let's be real, it's a little boring at this point, but I do want to kind of see his damage compared to the rest of this squad at the end of the day. So I'll be right back, guys. We have Vergamcar, we have Grand Oak, we have Lauratia Great Hoof, and we have Nekmothar. So be right back. All right, guys, look at the big gator, Krok'mar, with 1 million damage in the damage lead and a bunch of stuns. And keep in mind, I have that fearsome presence, so we're not seeing the full damage potential here. No ignore defense in his kit, no savage, no lethal, no helm smash or anything like that. So not too bad, the big fella. He's tanky, and he can pack a punch with 2 AoEs. Again, I like him in Hydra, as I've already mentioned, on ally attack teams because of the AoE potential on that A1, and of course with a curse set on. All right, so that's that. Let's go ahead and go to champion number 4 on the list, and it's gonna be, I actually had made a whole video about this guy because I was down on him when he was released. It's one of those champions that I absolutely got wrong. I'm eating crow. I don't know what's not to like about Timit the Fool. I don't know, but somehow I didn't like him that much. I remember thinking that, if you don't have Kaja the Rye, he's just all right. Nah, Timit the Fool is amazing. This guy is a monster. I love the little court jester here. What does he do? Well, he has 2 AoEs, and he has an extra turn mechanic. Attacks all enemies on a 4-turn cooldown, decrease the cooldown of all enemy buffs by 3 turns. So that's polymorph proof. 3 turns basically strips away buffs without having to be sheeped. It's fantastic. It's great in PvE. It's great in PvP. He's tanky, HP based. He's got a lot of HP. If there are no enemies with active buffs, grants an extra turn. Usually there's no enemies with active buffs because, well, he's decreased them all, right? If Kaj is on the same team, he always gets the extra turn, okay? Then he goes into the Kegs of Dread. Super cool mechanic on this ability. An AoE, increased accuracy on all allies. Sure, why not? And also a true fear on all enemies for 1 turn. So now he's got buff removal, polymorph proof, and he's got true fear, a great CC ability. And he hits hard. Whenever an enemy skill successfully activates while they're under fear or true fear, it fills his turn meter. Whenever an enemy skill does not activate because they're under true fear or true fear, places a provoke on them. That one is with Kaja, but man, now we got double CC on that passive, and he brings accuracy in all battles. Great for Cintranos at 50. All right, guys, so we're in Platinum Arena. I just wanted to do a quick little, put 2 of these guys together. Timit the Fool, Kaja the Rye, and Krok'mar. We can't get rid of Krok'mar. He loves his time in the spotlight here on the channel. All right, we got 3 stone skin sets. We're gonna come in here. We're gonna stun out the gate, excuse me. Off the bat, out the gate, who cares, right? Nishak, we don't really like Nishak, but we don't like UDK either. But we have 2 AoEs. Let's get rid of Nishak for a bit, right? And then let's go in with a turn meter fill from Kaja. And then let's go in with the A2 ability. Okay, here we go. Boom, boom. Okay. So Timit the Fool. This team can't even really get the, okay, here we go. We're gonna go in with the A2, decreased duration of all debuffs, boom. Can't be sheeped. Kegs of Dread, now true fear on everybody. Come in with Armands. Oh man. I mean, we are in Platinum, but to be fair, this is not a, it's not Taurus and Marichka team, but you guys can see the synergy between both of these champions, Kaja and Timit, right? It's really cool. And also, when Kaja revives, check this out, guys. When Kaja revives with her A2, I hate the revives on the A2. It feels like revive should always be the A3, right? No?
Your capacity to create your own worlds.
When she revives, if Timit the Fool's on the same team, revives them too with an HP, revives them with a full turn meter. And if he's on the same team and alive, it resets and instantly activates the Kegs of Dread, his A3, the true fear. So if you revive somebody else and Timit's still alive, it resets that cooldown and then instantly activates the ability. That's broken and is really, really fun. All right, so I love Timit the Fool. Another area that I use him a lot is in Curse City. He's great in Cintranos. Let me try to find the random stage that I was doing last. Oh, right here, P17. Timit the Fool and Krok'mar again, baby. These guys are a dynamic duo. We're just gonna. Oh, he opens up with Kegs of Dread. That's not cool. Open up. It's okay. He comes back in. We're good. We're just gonna go full auto here. But like these two together, man, forget about it. Forget about it. Just two super tanky damage dealers, right? Damage and control and a lot of tankage here. They can burn through Cintranos content. I love, any of you guys like the Gator out there? I can't be the only one that likes Krok'mar. He's really cool. All right, here we go. Second wave. We have a stunned Timit the Fool, but good old Crocky. You can't mess with him. Even with block active skills, who cares? His AoE on the A1 alone is going to take care of everybody, right? There goes. Who do you think is going to get more damage here, guys? Ooh, he goes with the Kegs of Dread against one enemy. I don't like that. Here's the test of strength. Extra turn goes into the A1, smacks him down. Oh, look at that. Look at that attack from Krok'mar, man. That Gator. All right, guys, you get it. So Timit the Fool, King Gallcobar, Krok'mar, who is my fourth most definitive, most underrated, and with the damage is pretty close there. Timit was CC'd and he had bad RNG, but still pretty cool. Who's number 4? Who's number 4? Well, hey, I've mentioned her before, guys. She is, I think, potentially the most underrated champion in the game. It's Gwyndolin the Silent, the Owl. I love the freaking Owl. She's so insanely good. Her A1 is exactly the same ability, verbatim, as Vizier Ovelis. So basically, taking an old school champion that has a lot of utility only from this ability, each hit 50% chance to extend the duration of all debuffs on the target by 1 turn on each hit on a triple hitter. That makes her amazing for Fire Knight. It makes her amazing for Clan Boss, Demon Lord. It makes her amazing basically anywhere. This is a really powerful ability on the A1. On the A2, Sickle Boomerang, 3-turn cooldown, attacks all enemies, decrease speed in a leech, and then a decreased accuracy if they're under 2 or more debuffs. Well, they're probably going to be under 2 or more debuffs, right? Unless they get resisted, affinity, whatever. But still, it's not a very high threshold, especially since we're already placing 2 more debuffs. So on a 3-turn cooldown, we get decreased speed, leech, and decreased accuracy. On the A3, it's a 3-turn cooldown again. Attacks all enemies before attacking. Now we get increased accuracy on all allies. She also has an accuracy aura. We have a weird kind of steel block debuffs and spread it onto allies. Kind of a weird move, but hey, it can be useful if they have block debuffs, right? And then this passive, Bird of Prey. This is so broken. This champion's crit damage is increased by 1% for every 10 points of accuracy. Awesome. But grants an extra turn after this champion uses any 3 skills. So now she has an extra turn built-in mechanic, and her AoEs are already on 3-turn cooldowns. You can build her in Merciless. She's insane. She's so sick in Merciless gear, guys. She is so underrated for Hydra Clan Boss. What a champion in Gwyndolin the Silent. I don't know why she doesn't get the respect that she deserves out there. All right, let me go ahead and run. I'm not going to run the entire battle. Let me run a little bit of Hydra Clan Boss Nightmare. It's Gwyndolin in the lead for the accuracy aura, and then we have Tawanarok, we have Geralt, Androck, Archer Queen, and Venus. A nice free-to-play friendly team for you guys.
Have you ever considered learning how to lie every now and then? Just a bit?
I kid, but still, you can run like a Mikage in this role as well. We're going to come in and we're going to start with the block buffs. We're going to take an extra turn, absolutely. And then we're going to come in with the A3 here. And then we're going to debuff. And now it's going to be Gwyndolin time, I think. Let's see. No, one more turn. Provoke. Fantastic. All right, so check this out, guys. We're going to open up with the A2. And, like, look at all those debuffs. So unbelievably powerful to have all 3 of those on a 3-turn cooldown with the extra turn mechanic. The extra turn mechanic, ostensibly what it does is it allows, again, like we talked about earlier, it allows the debuffs with the extra turn on that passive on the Bird of Prey or whatever it is. It's going to allow her to keep those debuffs up the entire battle, provided she's fast enough, right? Really, really strong stuff here, guys. Let's go in with a provoke there, I guess. Let's go A1 here. I just want to keep going until she gets an extra turn. But a team like this, it powers up, you know, obviously a little bit over time here. I'll just stay with you guys for a moment, right? But what do you think? You guys, now you've seen all of my 4 most wanted champions. Is it this turn? Is that the 3? Does she get? Yes, so she gets the extra turn. She has True Fear on, and unfortunately it procs, but still, it just like, it happens fast, right? Where she gets that extra turn. What do you guys think of my selections? Do you agree with me? Are you surprised by any of these champions? Do you disagree with any of the champions on the list? I would love to hear from anybody who's like, Ash, maybe a little bit too high on whatever this champion is. We can go back in with the A3, going in there with the increased accuracy. One more turn till we can get a little bit of cover up there. Let's go ahead and go in here. Let's go with the AoE. Cleanse everything off. I just wanted to stay with you guys just for a moment, just so we can decapitate a head and the damage will start rolling. The reason the damage is so bad right now is we had bad RNG with the Garrel changing. Garrel's our damage dealer. This whole entire team is built to support Garrel, and she's going to carry the entire team. She's going to do tons and tons and tons of damage. You could use like a Turvold or a billion different champions in this role, right? As one big DPS champion. We have protection gear, as you can see on Androck. The Provoke fell off. It's okay. We can reload those debuffs in just 2 seconds anyway, right? And look at the health on everybody. We're looking pretty good here. All right, let's go in with the A2. That boomerang. She does pretty nice damage too. Okay, finally get a decapitated head. Now we're going to start getting some nice damage here. I think I can just probably give you a little bit of an outro here, and the damage is going to start to skyrocket, right? So check this out, guys. We're at 10 boss turn count. We're at 12 million damage, and you're just gonna start to see things just ramp up, right? And I just feel like with a team like this, we don't have a reviver, right? So we really rely on that leech to keep everybody alive. Garrel, what are you doing over there?
That's funny. System's glitching.
I love those bugs where they kind of get stuck. We need that leech to keep a team like this alive. That leech is, look at Garrel right there. She probably would have been dead without the leech. You see her HP go, you know? Now we've got 4 decapitated heads. Now we can start hammering. There goes that sickle boomerang. I think I missed one of her extra turns, but you can see the damage is already going to start scaling like mad, right? Let's get some Garrel join-ins, please. That's her A1. Triple hitter, extend all the duration of the debuff. She gets their extra turn. Fantastic. She's getting extra turns. She's not even in a relentless set, obviously. It's just the passive Birds of Prey. She's in a merciless set. To get the ignore defense, to get the chance of an extra of a cooldown. But here we go. Now we're ramping up. Rapid shot, get in there. Now we're at 40 million damage, or close to. Now we are. Oh gosh, one away. But anyway, guys, let me cancel this out and let me show you one more. I just want the 40 million. Okay, there we go. All right, so you can see this team a lot better than kind of what started out, right? Like I said, the damage starts ramping up a lot as we start getting into the flow of things. All right, let me end this battle. Do a super quick. I always get paranoid ending the battle. I'm like, oh, I don't want to save it. I don't want to keep the result. But Gwyndolin puts out 7 million damage. So not bad. Out damaging, Venus, Androck, a little behind Archer Queen. Obviously not in the Garrel territory, but she's a debuffer / damage dealer. Let me free regroup here. Let me show you the build really quickly on her. And I can't wait to hear the comments on this one because golly, man, she is so good. So this is the build. We have a 6-piece Merciless, ignore defense, chance of decreasing the random skills cooldown by 1 turn when dealing damage. Obviously that's happening on both of her abilities with the AoE and the AoE there. There are masteries, guys. That's going to be the video. I don't think I showed you Timit really quickly here. Nothing crazy in terms of his build, but you guys can see I have him in the stone skin for the arena with some perception. Guys, that's going to do it for the video. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, take care, guys.